Hello friends! On the vast fields and in the jungles of America, dramatic wild boar hunts always take place. American farmers with their expert hunting skills took down countless giant wild boars to protect their crops and livestock from these aggressive animals. Are you curious about their dramatic hunts? Leave number 1 in the comments and we will explore this in the video. Under the shade of the forest, wild pigs reproduce rapidly and pose a strong threat to American agriculture. By 2023, economic losses have reached $2.5 billion due to their rapid increase. Each litter of mother pigs gives birth to about 412 piglets, creating a large number of wild boars, causing severe consequences for farmers. They destroy fields and bulldoze crops. And follow herds of 10 to 50, destroying everything in their path. With a weight of up to 200 pounds and a length of about 6 feet, the mother pig's jaws are sharp. They pose a major threat and often forage on farms, leading to conflicts with humans. Although many measures such as hunting and fencing have been tried, the number of pigs continues to increase. In cornfields, there is a diverse food source for stem borers, including young corn roots and other parts of the plant. The dense foliage of corn leaves and the height of the corn plant provide protection and shelter for wild pests, keeping them away from light and predators. The ideal habitat in cornfields is why forest worms like to hide here. Each year, wild boars cause significant damage to cornfields during the harvest season, estimated at up to $1 billion USD and accounting for about 15% of total production. If you think the wild pigs deserve to be dealt with, please leave number 1 in the comments section. However, wild pigs also bring some benefits to nature, helps disperse seeds, control small animal populations, and provide food for other predators. The mother pig often has to search for more food on the farm. This is the main cause of conflict between wild pigs and farmers. Although people have applied many measures to deal with wild boars, such as using traps and building fences, the number of wild pigs still increases. A quick fix to this problem is to use hunting to control the wild pig population and protect crops and people. Hunters need a valid hunting license issued by the state government after the hunter completes a safety course. During the day, wild boars are often wary, making them difficult to approach. Hunters need to have good shooting skills and the ability to move quietly to start hunting. Wild pigs can run at speeds of up to 30 feet per hour. This speed makes hunting difficult, especially in rough terrain. The fastest place to defeat wild pigs in America is the head and the part of the chest where the heart beats. Robbins is known as the wild boar destroyer. He has killed more than 10,000 animals in his career because wild boars are often less alert at night. According to a study by the University of Texas, this makes it easier for hunters to approach and take down their prey. According to research, the number of wild pigs hunted at night accounts for about 60% of the total number of wild pigs hunted in Texas. Hunters must comply with local hunting laws and regulations. Helicopters have become an important element in wild boar hunting. Hunters can expand their search scope and accurately locate wild boar herds in a short time. The use of aircraft creates more favorable conditions for hunters when confronting large numbers. However, the cost of renting a helicopter for hunting is very expensive. Costs can range from $2,000 to $5,000 per hour, depending on the type of helicopter flight time and accompanying services. In addition, hunters also have to pay other costs such as ammunition, hunting licenses and fees for processing pork by helicopter. Wild boar hunting is a controversial activity. Many people believe that this is a cruel and unnecessary action. Using helicopters can affect the environment and other wildlife. Wild boar hunting is an activity that requires patience. Hunters may have to wait many hours to shoot down their prey when facing a herd of ferocious wild boars. They need to stay calm so they can carry out precise destruction. Hunting tools are carefully prepared. Especially hunters need to have a solid understanding of wild boar behavior to predict the direction of movement of their prey and have an effective hunting strategy. farmers' wild boar hunting skills are passed down from generation to generation, helping them protect their crops and livestock from wild boars. Staying alert and observing your surroundings while hunting is important to ensure safety and success during the hunt. Some people do not agree with the above method of killing wild boars because they think that this action hurts wild boars and is inhumane. Do you agree with killing wild boars as above? Please comment number 1 if you disagree, and number 0 if you agree. You wouldn't believe the pressure Russian farmers are facing when dealing with wild boars. Their invasion devastated farmers' property, causing about $40 million in damage to peanut crops and $61 million to corn crops. Last year, a recent study by researchers at the Granian University of Cuba reported that the optimal time to prevent damage and potential economic losses from wild warfare is just before planting. According to research results, agricultural fields located near forests are the main habitat of pigs. This is also the reason why cornfields are more affected. Cornfields often have a large shape, which is convenient for wild boars to choose as a hiding place and provides a significant food source. In addition, the natural landscape environment of Russian cornfields provides large spaces for wild boars to operate naturally without the intervention of hunters and hounds. Russian farmers have applied the method of using hunting dogs to deal with wild boars. This may surprise you, but it is a unique solution to this problem. If you support hunting dogs participating in wild boar hunting, please comment number 1 in the comments section. Pig hunting dogs are dogs with a strong body structure and incredible strength. With large size and strong muscles, they are equipped to conquer harsh mountain environments and confront wild nature. What's special about them is their ability to use their sense of smell, helping them detect and track wild boars in dense forests. In addition, loyalty is the outstanding characteristic of this hunting dog. They have the ability to understand and follow the trainer's instructions. During training, wild boar hunting dogs are taught how to accurately recognize and react to the tracks and feelings of wild boars. They are also trained to hunt with teammates, creating efficiency in the hunting process. After being trained, the dogs will be assigned the task of hunting. Their first task is to deal with the aggression of wild boars, which is an effective measure to help hunters avoid danger. However, it should be noted that this method should only be practiced by hunters licensed to participate in hunting in Russia. The law allowing hunters to hunt wild boar with hunting dogs is stipulated in the Forestry Code of the Russian Federation. The deadline for licensing hunting dogs is the same day as the wild boar hunting season, which lasts from September to February. The results of this measure may be surprising, with one 420-pound wild boar caught, an impressive figure. However, some believe that the use of hunting dogs to hunt wild boars by Russian farmers is a cruel act, misunderstanding that it is used for efficiency. If you think this view is correct, leave a number 2 and a comment in the comments section. Hounds can only attack wild boars that are not too large. When confronting a herd of wild boars, hunting dogs do not show fear or anxiety. Regardless of the hunting terrain, hunting dogs always try their best to chase and take down their prey, showing excellent fighting spirit and perseverance in pursuing and facing wild boars. Now is the right time to go hunting. Early in the morning when Russian hunters begin to prepare for their hunt, they check their equipment and make sure that the hunting gear is fully and neatly packed in the hunting carts that they move to areas where wild boars have hidden under the rising sun. The farmer called his hounds, and the hunt officially began. Smart hunting dogs began to follow the synthesized sounds of wild boars in the deep forest. They are often retained by hunting dogs and targeted at vulnerable parts such as the neck, ears, and hind legs, weak points of wild boars that make them more vulnerable to attack. The confrontation between hunting dogs and wild boars happens quickly, usually lasting only a few minutes until the wild boar can no longer resist. Once they have taken down the wild boar, the hunter gives the signal, and the hound stops after being called by name or receiving a specific signal, ensuring that no unnecessary injuries occur. While hunting, Russians often carry a hound team consisting of 3 large hounds and 2 small hounds. Large dogs weigh around 70 to 80 pounds each, while small dogs weigh around 40 pounds. Using hunting dogs and hunting guns not only brings joy and excitement to hunters, but also ensures their safety from potential dangers. Hunting dogs are trained to detect and track wildlife without much human intervention, helping to minimize the risk of contact with wild animals. Additionally, the use of hunting dogs has proven effective in controlling and reducing wild boar numbers by 70 to 80% across Russia. This helps protect the field from their destruction and significantly reduces costs for the hunter. Although the use of hunting dogs has been beneficial in controlling feral pig populations in Russia's grasslands, there are still some communities that do not support this method. One of the main reasons is concern about cruel treatment of invasive wild hunting dogs. Some people believe that the use of hunting dogs can cause unnecessary suffering to wild boars when attacked by a large number of hunting dogs. In addition, some communities are also concerned about the disturbance in the natural balance and the impact on the ecosystem caused by hunting. They claim that controlling large numbers of wild pigs could cause unwanted environmental pollution. What do you think about Russian hunters' new method of dealing with invasive wild pigs? If you support hunting wild pigs with hunting dogs, please leave comment number 1. If you disagree with this method because you are concerned about injury to the hunting dogs, please comment 0 and share your opinion with us. Thank you for accompanying us. Click the like button to motivate us to produce more videos on how to deal with invasive animals. The swamp rat was introduced to California in the 1819s, quickly becoming a serious invasive problem. Outstanding fertility is one of the outstanding features of this species, with each female able to give birth to 6 to 12 offspring per litter. The combination of fertility and adaptation to a variety of habitats has made the marsh rat a significant threat to both forests and dry lands. California's coastal areas have abundant food sources, making them ideal hiding places for swamp rats. However, their destructive habits can have serious consequences, including digging to build nests and searching for food, leading to coastal erosion and endangering both communities and infrastructure. Floor. Swamp rats can also invade parks and natural areas, destroying natural landscapes and causing biodiversity problems. According to the California Department of Marine Conservation and Conservation, CDFW, swamp rats are one of the greatest threats to biodiversity in California and cause an estimated $100 million in economic losses per year, including damage to agriculture due to crop destruction. To control marsh rat populations, the California Department of Forestry and the California Department of Marine Conservation, CDFW, have implemented a hunting strategy in coastal and inland areas. These areas often have rich food sources and ideal living conditions for this mouse species. This strategy includes using boats to reach hard-to-reach areas, as well as using special glasses to search for marsh rats in grassy and shaded areas. The use of hunting equipment and rat detectors is important to ensure effective population control. Hunting tools with small caliber bullets are used mainly to catch rats. Hunters often move from other regions to these swamp areas to participate in hunting journeys. They move through dense grass to search for rats, and small boats help them reach and harvest the rats quickly. Swamp rats often have the habit of living in groups, so no place should be missed in their population control. Hounds have become an effective control method for marsh rat populations, especially in areas that are difficult for humans to reach by traditional means. They have the ability to detect traces of swamp rats, such as smells, noises, and footprints, and then chase and capture them to help hunters kill them. The fur of swamp rats helps dogs detect them, and their flexible and quick movement in swamp environments is a great advantage, helping them find and chase rats effectively. They are not only an effective tool in the strategy of controlling swamp rat populations, but also a testament to the cooperation between humans and animals in maintaining natural balance. The strategy for harvesting swamp rats after hunting often involves taking them home and processing them into special dishes. Have you ever tried eating mice? Their flavor is very unique and delicious. It feels like eating chicken. Using mouse traps is also an effective measure to partially control the swamp mouse population. These types of traps can be placed in areas frequented by rats, providing an additional layer of control for their populations. If you have any alternative strategies or insights to better control marsh populations, leave all your comments and thoughts below in the comments section. From the 1850s until now, the number of fed cats has increased to 3 million, becoming one of the most significant wild cat species in Australia. It is estimated that from 1.4 to 6.3 million feral cats have become a serious threat to wildlife in this country. They were initially brought into Australia to control the rat population, but when they became feral, they became uncontrollable and began preying on wild species, causing ecological imbalance. The reason why the number of feral cats has increased so much is because feral cat populations are able to sustain themselves and reproduce successfully thanks to abundant food sources. Females can give birth on average twice per year, allowing for a significant increase in the number of feral cats in Australia. First, the fur cat's breeding time takes place in spring, and then again in late summer and early fall. After birth, they will stay with their mother until about 7 months old, after which they disperse and live alone. This led to a rapid increase in the feral cat population, with each individual giving birth to dozens of different litters, causing them to invade all over Australia. While the number of feral cats has spiked, Australians have faced food shortages due to their invasion. Using equipment such as infrared goggles and flashlights is necessary to locate feral cats in the dark, and shooting distances at night need to be calculated precisely to ensure effectiveness. To ensure safety during hunting, the hunter needs to achieve the appropriate distance from the target without endangering himself or surrounding creatures. Choosing the right location is an important part of this process, helping them have a clear view and avoiding endangering other animals, especially rabbits that can be mistakenly shot during the process of hunting wild mice. In addition to using hunting tools, Australians also use cage traps to catch feral cats, a method considered safe and not harmful to them. The process of installing cage traps requires caution and understanding of this animal's behavior. Choosing an installation location is usually near areas where feral cats often appear, or places with signs of them such as footprints or cat feces. Cage traps should be placed in safe places, away from risks to humans and other animals. Next, you need to prepare an attractive bait such as food or a scent that your cat likes. After choosing the bait, carefully place it in the trap to ensure the attraction is not reduced. Traps are often placed in areas where cats are commonly found, such as urban areas where they often forage for food. Organizations or government agencies often conduct medical examinations and markings before releasing them or implementing sterilization measures to minimize the impact of feral cats on biodiversity and predict the effects of feral cats. Them to Australian wildlife. They are often transferred to sterilization areas for health checks and to determine whether they carry any diseases. The sterilization process not only helps control the increase in feral cat numbers, but also ensures that subsequent releases do not cause loss of biodiversity or spread of infectious diseases. Treatment of the disease has played an important part in reducing the number of feral cats each year in Australia. thanks to the effectiveness of the feral cat management program. The number of cats in the wild has decreased significantly, helping the country's ecological balance. This proves the success of using traps. Veterinary centers are also especially interested in choosing sterilization tools from leading brands such as Becton Dickinson, BD, Midtronic, 3M, and many others, offering a wide range of cat sterilization tools, from separators and needles to the top players. For an experienced veterinarian, it is very important to perform the surgery correctly and require the cat to fast and drink water before surgery. Instructions on sterilization of instruments need to be carried out properly and ensure quality. Closely monitor your cat's health condition and provide them with appropriate nutrition. They require recovery time after sterilization surgery, which usually takes 10 to 14 days. Some people do not support the hunting of feral cats because they believe that cats also play an important role in the local ecosystem and contribute to the natural balance. They are actually arguing that feral cats are not the only cause of biodiversity loss, and that there are other methods of controlling feral cat populations that do not require hunting. Some people are also concerned about the negative effects of feral cat removal on other animals and the natural environment. They argue that eliminating feral cats could have a series of undesirable consequences, including an increase in rodent populations or the proliferation of other pest species. After watching this entire video, what do you think about the measures to deal with the feral cat problem? Please comment number 1 if you have a cat and share your views. Canada's ecosystem is gradually being destroyed by wild emerald ash boars. How did Canadian farmers deal with wild boars? Leave number 1 and find out with me now. After 3.5 months of pregnancy, this wild boar gave birth to 8 wild boar cubs. Here is the farmer's farm after about a week. The baby wild boars begin to walk and eat plants around the area. They dig up the plants they like, and they eat insects on the leaves. The pigs then go to the lake shore to drink water and find more food, making the area around the lake heavy, contaminated. Wild boars use their snouts to find larvae and worms under the mud. Wild boar are a concern for Canadians. What did they do to stop their actions? Once farmers determine the number of wild boar herds and know about their activities, their routine is to start preparing traps to catch a series of wild boars. This process requires technique and experience because wild boars are very sensitive and alert to potential dangers. However, this could be a way to control wild boar populations and protect the natural environment from their overcrowding. Impact on how many pigs this trap can trap. These are questions that are asked and many people wonder. This trap can hold 10 adult wild boars. Is this trap safe? Of course. Take a look here. These are pigs weighing about 250 to 300 pounds, searching for food at night. In this trap, a lot of grain has been placed, which is an attractive bait for them, as each wild boar enters the trap to enjoy the grain. Other animals in the herd will also continue to come later. It seemed they discovered something, so after a while they felt safe, so they ran away. They continued to enter the trap to eat. After entering the trap, they are very scared and try to break the trap door. Run away when encountering wild boars like this. You should stay away from them. Otherwise, they will attack you. Trapping wild boars can only partially help prevent the growth of wild boar populations. But the pigs that escaped the trap once again ran away, becoming a formidable one. The challenge is to help wild boars learn how to hide in dense forests and mountains that will be their new refuge. Under the shade of forest trees and bushes, they feel safer and are more difficult to catch directly. Have you ever gone into the forest to hunt wild pigs? After a long time of being hunted by wild boars, the wild boar's senses have become very sharp and alert to every hiss of leaves. Changes in the wind or even a distant murmur can agitate them and make them ready to run away. In danger, they will cry out to signal the whole herd, and in the blink of an eye, they can suddenly run away in any direction, even swimming expertly through the water. Hunting wild boars in the mountains becomes quite difficult, especially when they are familiar with the terrain and know how to take advantage of the natural environment to avoid being chased. This is an exciting and challenging adventure race. Hunters require patience and skill to be able to deal with wild pigs in the wild. In this area, two farmers will go to the observation deck to wait for wild boars. You see, this herd of wild boars is quite large. Can you count how many wild boars there are? Please leave the number of wild boars you counted below in the comments section. In a herd, the process of hunting wild boar is an adventurous and challenging task. requiring patient skills and an understanding of the behavior of wild animal hunters. Note, they often have to use wild tricks like tracks and scent to find the pig's location when close enough. The hunt becomes an exciting race between humans and wild boars. Hunters must have agility and skill in using traditional methods or modern weapons to kill targets quickly and effectively. In terms of immersing yourself in the wild and facing the challenges of the natural environment, it should be noted that wild boar hunting must comply with regulations and laws on environmental and wildlife protection to ensure the sustainability of this activity. A very unique measure is being implemented here to control the growth of the wild boar population. This tiger has been equipped with GPS and released into the forest. Canadian farmers will allow the tiger to attack and hunt wild boars, one of the species that terrify wild boars because of their fast attack speed. Black bears are exactly famous in Canada. They have greater strength than wild boars, so catching and controlling them is also much easier. One brown bear caught a young wild boar in one evening, showing that this measure is effective in preventing the growth of wild boar populations. Do you like this method? If so, leave the number 1. Otherwise, if you don't like it, leave the number 0 in the comment section. Australia has approximately 300 to 400 invasive animal species spread across Australia. Among them, the most prominent is the dingo dog that was brought to Australia as a hunting animal. However, they later became a serious problem, causing damage to Australia's agriculture and natural environment. They have become one of the leading invasive species causing damage to native wildlife, causing ecological imbalance and creating significant costs for governments and farmers to control and mitigate their negative effects. The most important thing is that dingo dogs directly affect the economy and livestock. Farmers living in Australia told me that dingo dogs cause about $60 million in damage each year to Australian livestock farms, especially sheep farming. The reason they attack sheep is usually due to their hunting instincts and adaptations to their natural habitat. The parts of the dingo dog that affect its hunting behavior are mainly its sharp canines and the ability to move quickly, helping them attack and kill target opponents effectively. In recent years, dingo dogs have caused serious damage to kangaroo populations with their fast-running speed and hunting skills. They often take advantage of this ability to chase kangaroos, causing discomfort to the kangaroo population, which plays an important role in maintaining ecosystem balance by controlling the growth of plants and species, other plants. Their sudden decline could lead to environmental damage and a decline in food sources for many people. In Australia, reduced kangaroo numbers due to dingo attacks could have a major economic impact on people who rely on this source of income. This increases pressure on measures to control dingoes and protect kangaroo populations. The most effective method to address the economic and environmental damage caused by dingoes is to use hunting to legally manage dingo populations. However, it is important that the use of dingo hunting equipment comply with wildlife rules and regulations to ensure a balance between controlling dingoes and protecting the natural ecosystem. Hunting in Australia is an effective way to control invasive dingo populations, but there can be some conflicting views regarding the ethics and treatment of wildlife. Although dingoes are harmful to agriculture, hunting methods need to be made more humane and civilized. In addition, the use of hunting weapons can affect the environment because cigarette smoke is released directly into the environment, reducing biodiversity. When it comes to controlling dingoes, there is a more interesting method that does not hurt them, which is to use traps to trap them. One of the common traps used to catch dingoes in Australia is the water trap. This type of trap is designed to grip the dingo's legs as they enter, to keep them from escaping. How to set this trap is extremely important to ensure effectiveness in catching dingoes. Users need to find a suitable location that is usually near paths or trails that dingoes often pass. The trap clamps tightly onto their legs, causing damage and holding them. The use of this leg trap can be considered more effective than the use of hunting equipment, as it helps to safely capture and control dingoes without having to stun. This also helps minimize the risk of harm to humans and other animals in natural habitats. However, the use of foot traps also needs to be done carefully and in compliance with environmental protection regulations and wildlife laws. Canada geese perform seasonal migrations. The migration cycle begins from their breeding grounds in North America. As they move to their wintering areas in the south in the fall and return in the spring, they often migrate in large flocks, up to thousands at a time. Herds, after traveling long distances, often cover a few hundred miles. In case of severe weather, they can also move to areas with more favorable living conditions. It is their habit to regularly gather in grasslands and swamps, where there are abundant food sources and favorable living conditions. However, their presence on tree bark and leaves can reduce the tree's fertility, causing particularly serious impacts not only on young trees but also on mature trees. The negative impact of invasive geese not only affects biodiversity, but also reduces the natural regeneration capacity of the environment. This situation extends to native animals as they compete fiercely for food and shelter. This competition leads to the decline of native animals and creates a series of fluctuations in the ecological structure of the population. With the rapidly growing invasive goose population, millions of people each year are forcing governments to take measures to deal with the population. Choosing a hunting location becomes an important part of carrying out these measures in the most effective way. Large fields with lots of grass and food sources are ideal destinations for flocks of geese. A popular tactic for hunting Canada geese is to use dummies, placing them high up so they can be easily seen from the air. This process usually takes place early in the morning, before the geese begin to appear. Once the hunters have chosen a hunting location, placing the mannequin creates favorable conditions for them to observe the movements of the herd. Before starting the hunting process, the most important thing is to prepare all the necessary tools and skills. The most common handguns are ball bearing, have 12 or 20 gauge barrels, and use lead bullets, which is a popular choice for this type of gun. Binoculars are used to see from a distance while you hide, helping you hide your location from the attention of geese. Hunting skills are the deciding factor in success or failure, especially when you face long distances. The ability to aim accurately is very important.
Kill geese.
After shooting, it is important to harvest goose carcasses immediately to ensure meat quality and avoid waste. In compliance with local regulations and with a valid hunting license, marsh goose hunting is a popular activity in the United States. Canada geese are the most popular goose species hunted. Swamp goose hunting is quite similar to field goose hunting. However, it is necessary to choose goose models that can float in the water or be fixed with 3 branches. Establishing this acquisition model requires setting a time period when implementation remains uncertain. Placing a small goose model in a large area can attract more geese. In swampy areas, you can only hide in areas with large trees or boats to wait for geese to hunt. Hunters need to wait patiently for the geese to arrive, because geese often migrate to the marsh in the early morning or late afternoon. The hunter needs to shoot at the goose in a dangerous situation so that the goose immediately faints and falls. After the goose falls, it can be moved and harvested without affecting the quality of the goose. To be able to control goose populations most effectively, it is necessary to know their behavior. Hunting is an effective means of controlling goose populations. However, hunting can only control the goose population to a certain extent without the need for other measures. Rabbit meat farms in the United States are mainly concentrated in warm climates, especially the states of California, Iowa, Oregon, and Pennsylvania. The way rabbits are raised on these farms is quite similar to modern chicken farming models, often done in the AE cage system, with the cage floor not covered. No lining is used to cover the rabbit's waistline in the cage, making it easy for them to escape. Rabbit food is very diverse, from green vegetables and fruits to concentrated foods and supplements. Most foods provide vitamins, fiber and minerals, such as corn, wheat and oats, ensuring your rabbit has enough energy. Rabbits have short reproductive cycles, with a gestation period of about 5 to 6 months and a nursing period of about 30 days per litter. Each litter of female rabbits can give birth to 6 to 12 babies, depending on nutrition and care. The best temperature for raising rabbits is between 18 and 24 degrees Celsius, as high or low temperatures can affect their health and productivity. The weight of rabbits reaches from 2.5 to 3 kilograms. Approximately 5 kilograms of rabbit meat can be harvested depending on market demand in Europe. France is the largest rabbit farming country in Europe, with a production range of 2 million tons per year. While the United States is the largest rabbit farming country nationally with 1.5 million tons annually. The number of rabbits in each farm depends on the size. From a few hundred to a few thousand, each farm can harvest from 100 to 200 tons of rabbit meat per year, with prices ranging from $454 to $681 each time, depending on quality and market demand. Therefore, each rabbit farm can bring in from $1 to $3 million annually. However, there are still many people who do not like this type of meat. First of all, the unique taste of rabbit meat makes many people not choose to eat it. Second, the price of rabbit meat is often higher than other types of meat. Third, rabbit meat is not popular in many grocery stores, even though rabbit meat is considered a healthy food, high in protein and low in fat and cholesterol. However, its different flavor compared to other popular meats makes it unfamiliar to many people. Regarding enjoying rabbit meat, what do you think? I think you will like it very much. Processing rabbit meat in the United States is a fairly complex process, starting when the rabbit is transported to the meat plant. Rabbits are usually transported by truck or container, ensuring safety during transportation. Before processing begins, rabbits must undergo quality control factors such as weight, age, health, and meat quality being carefully assessed. Processing then continues with the separation of the skin. Rabbit skins are not only discarded, but are also used to make leather goods as display items. Bags containing rabbit offal should not be overlooked, whether they are removed mechanically or manually, and can be used to produce animal feed or compost. The rabbit meat is then washed with salt water or clean water to ensure hygiene. The next step is to cut off the rabbit's feet for easier packaging and shipping. Rabbit stew is one of the traditional dishes in America. It is not only delicious, but also brings warmth to cold days. Simply prepared from stewed rabbit meat with vegetables such as carrots, potatoes, and onions. This dish not only brings delicious flavor, but also retains American tradition. First, wash the rabbit meat and cut it into bite-sized pieces. Carrots, potatoes, onions, garlic, and celery are also prepared. Next, marinate the rabbit meat with salt, minced garlic, and black pepper for about 30 minutes. Then put the rabbit meat in a pot. Pour water to cover the meat and stew for 1 hour. Add carrots, potatoes, onions, and celery to the pot and continue to simmer for another 30 minutes. After that, You can pour a little red wine and chicken broth into the pot. Boil to taste and stew for another 15 minutes until the rabbit meat and vegetables are soft. Finally, scoop the rabbit stew into a bowl and enjoy while it's still hot. To make the meal more rich and attractive, you can combine stewed rabbit with rice or bread and add other vegetables such as mushrooms or peas. Hello friends! In the field of agriculture, we always face many challenges and difficulties when invasive species continuously attack common domestic animals such as wild wolves and others, causing a lot of concerns for farmers. Please leave a 1 in the comments section and join us right away. First of all, wild boars are becoming a major threat to our agriculture, not only damaging crops, but also attacking livestock and spreading diseases. Estimates show that each year, wild boars cause more than $1 billion in damage to the agricultural industry. Their rapid reproductive capabilities and adaptability to various habitats have made them prevalent in 39 states of the United States, including important agricultural areas like Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Furthermore, the presence of many wild animal species in the United States also attracts a large number of people interested in hunting activities, making these sports destinations attractive tourist spots and a booming industry. We have explored how farmers and hunters in the United States hunt wild animals. The hunting industry has contributed approximately $33 billion to the U.S. economy. This has been done not only to protect agriculture, but also to minimize the impact of harmful species on the environment and communities. In Alaska, hunters have had to move into forest hunting areas due to the terrain's nature. Over 105,000 people purchased hunting licenses in Alaska in 2021, and approximately 23% of them were non-resident hunters, according to a report by the Alaska Department of Fish and Game. Hunters need to carefully plan their transportation, as well as food and water sources, during their hunting trips. The primary goal of hunters in Alaska is often to acquire trophies from wild boar hunting. The second invasive species is the wolf, known as the most dangerous predator for farmers in the U.S. According to some studies, they can play an important role in controlling rodents, benefiting farmers. However, coyotes can also have a negative impact by attacking livestock, especially in large grazing areas in the western United States such as Montana, Wyoming, and Idaho. Estimates of damage caused by wolves to the livestock industry reach millions of dollars each year, according to the United States Department of Agriculture (USDA). Within a week, wolves can cause an average of $1,500 to $2,000 in damage per attack. On average, a wolf will attack one sheep per week. To a worrying extent, they don't even hesitate to move on the highway. This caused a police officer, who was completing his duty, to quickly hide in his car when he suddenly saw a pack of wolves rushing across the road. American farmers need the government's support in finding a balance between environmental protection and their interests. Currently, setting traps to capture invasive wolves is a common method for controlling human-wolf conflicts in many states across the world, such as California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. These are often the states with the highest livestock wolf conflict rates. It is estimated that nearly 230,000 wolves are captured each year in the U.S., accounting for about 133% of the total number of wolves living in this country. Wolf trapping often requires professionalism and skill, and must comply with relevant laws and regulations. Hunters often use sensor-activated foot traps. If you are a resident of the United States, interested in wolf control, and want to get involved, you need to learn more about the specific trapping regulations in your state. Always protecting the natural environment and maintaining balanced ecology when participating in hunting activities. Please leave the number 1 if you support wolf trapping. Otherwise, leave the number 0. In addition, moose are also a danger to agriculture and urban areas, causing serious damage and potentially transmitting diseases to humans when they invade those areas. The challenge of management and security in cities is huge. Statistically, New York State is hardest hit by the invasive elk problem. Each year, they cause more than $70 million USD in damage to this state, including damage to crops and traffic accidents. In addition to destroying more than 10,000 acres of farmland in Illinois, causing millions of dollars in damages to farmers with the aim of minimizing elk encroachment into urban areas. There are temporary measures implemented. That is providing enough food and water for them in wild areas, to limit their access to cities and not affect the community, to help control pest populations and protect farmers. Farming in the United States. States often use methods such as trapping or hunting these pests in Alaska, with the main goal of hunters being to capture elk. This animal is native to Alaska, and about 75% of hunters come to this state because their antlers bring economic value. It is predicted that by 2022, there will be about 176,000 deer living in Alaska, of which about 57% will be males. Each person is licensed to hunt 1 to 4 animals during the hunt. During the hunting season, violating the regulations on the number of hunts within the allowed range may result in a fine. This is especially important to avoid serious errors, because violations can lead to criminal prosecution and even prison sentences. If you feel this information is useful, please leave number 2 in the comments section. Currently, most hunters who come to Alaska target male elk. This is because hunting regulations are often aimed at sustainable management of elk populations, especially targeting males, helping hunters control the population and prevent overpopulation of the species. Additionally, males are often larger in size and have more antlers than females, making them more attractive to trophy hunters. Hunters gain more respect and excitement when they capture elk with their attractive antlers. They often have to climb high mountains in harsh weather to search for prey. Currently, there are about 35,000 mountain goats living in Alaska, and about 615 are caught by hunters each year. Of all the invasive species, which animal are you most concerned about? What invasive species do you think need to be controlled right now? Elk are the largest mammals in North America and Europe, attracting attention with their impressive size. Their height can reach up to 7.5 feet and weigh up to 1,800 pounds, making them one of the strongest creatures on land. Most of them are the size of a small truck, taller than a car, and many times heavier. Elk have been present in the United States since about 10,000 years ago, when the last glacier melted. They originally lived mainly in the forests and grasslands of Alaska and Canada. However, in recent times, elk numbers have increased dramatically, and they have migrated to other southern regions of the United States. The moose population in the United States has doubled in the past 50 years, from about 500,000 in 1970 to more than 1 million in 2022, according to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. This increase is mainly due to improvements in their habitat, including the expansion of forests and grasslands. This is proof of the vitality and excellent adaptation of this animal in today's natural environment. According to information from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, each year there are about 1,500 traffic accidents caused by moose in the United States. This is a notable problem, especially in rural and suburban areas where elk are common. Statistics show that economic losses from these accidents reach an estimated figure of 1.3 billion USD per year. Of this, repair costs account for about 1 billion USD, and medical costs for those injured in accidents are 300 million USD. The most serious accident was recorded on December 23, 2017 in the state of Oregon. In this accident, a truck collided with a moose, causing the vehicle to flip over and catch fire. This accident killed 4 people and seriously injured 2 others, in addition to causing damage to people and property. Elk also have a major impact on farmers and growers, as they regularly eat important crops and fruits such as corn grass, beans, apples, and grapes. According to U.S. statistics, the loss of fishing and wildlife services to the agricultural industry is estimated at about 500 million USD per year. However, this number is only calculated for each year. Elk not only threaten transportation and economic safety, but also pose risks to tourists in the forested areas where they live. Each year, there are about 200 elk attacks on forest tourists in the U.S., especially in areas such as Alaska, Washington, Oregon, and Montana. The important thing to keep in mind to ensure safety when encountering elk when driving in areas with many elk is to drive slowly and always pay attention. In forest environments, make noise to warn them of your limited exposure. Especially when they are protecting their young. Stay calm and try to avoid contact if they become aggressive. Stay still and slowly leave the area. Complying with these safety measures can help reduce the risk of accidents and attacks from elk, protecting both drivers, residents of rural areas, and forest visitors. Elk hunting is a popular population management method widely used in many places. Countries around the world, including the United States, Canada, and Europe, often take measures to manage moose populations. This not only helps control the elk population, but also ensures balance and ecology in each country. State elk hunting licensing processes vary, but the most important thing is that the minimum age is usually 18 years or older. Participants must also complete a safety training course, including how to safely use guns, handle animals after hunting, and how to protect the environment. The licensing process also requires payment of a fee ranging from a few dozen to a few $100s. However, these costs are often considered to conflict with the benefits of controlling falcon populations when hunting is initiated. Participants need to pay attention to several important things to ensure safety, including choosing a safe hunting location and using hunting equipment properly. Hunting time also plays a role, as elk are often active in the early morning and late afternoon. According to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, about 200,000 elk are hunted in the United States each year. This has contributed significantly to the control and reduction of the elk population in the country. To date, most invasive populations in the United States have declined about 20% in the past 50 years, according to information from the Fish and Wildlife Service. However, to achieve the best results, the implementation of management and safety measures needs to be taken seriously and effectively. Players need to pay attention to conducting hunting activities responsibly and safely in addition to basic clothing requirements. Proper clothing and food, carrying necessary equipment, and informed hunting plans are all important to not only protect yourself, but also the surrounding environment. The presence of wild boars in agricultural environments poses a major risk to the agricultural industry, as they cause significant damage to crops. Landscapes are damaged by problems such as wild boar grazing on new and growing crops, causing destruction of wild boars and weakening of leafy, stem, and tuber vegetables. This not only reduces productivity, but also brings pathogens that spread and reduce the quality of agricultural products. A newly planted vegetable may be affected by wild boar stem borers, causing particular challenges to the plant's growth and germination rate. The impact of damage caused by wild boars not only affects the local level, but also has a strong impact on the agricultural sector worldwide. According to estimates, each year wild boars cause about 1.5 billion USD in damage to the agricultural industry in the United States, 1 billion euro in Europe, and 1 billion euro in Asia. This damage simultaneously affects many vegetables such as carrots, potatoes, cabbage, cucumbers, and even rice cultivation. Damage to agricultural land not only stems from digging, which reduces fertility, but also from soil pollution, which increases the risk of environmental pollution. The problem of destruction caused by wild boars in cities worldwide is becoming a significant challenge in determining the exact number of cities affected each year. It is estimated that hundreds of cities in Europe, Asia, and North America face this problem, creating major challenges for communities and environmental management. City grounds are plagued by wild boars that eat leaves, tubers along with flowers and leaves, reducing the beauty and value of the grounds. In addition, they can also cause harm by burrowing, damaging landscaping and drainage systems, as well as leaving behind feces and waste that pollute the environment. Wild boars are not only a physical threat, but also have the ability to transmit infectious diseases to other animals, causing further danger to the forest ecosystem. Hunting wild boars is a common method of controlling wild boar populations around the world. However, the consequence of this is that millions of wild boars can be destroyed every year. Around the world, there are many different methods to approach wild boar hunting, including daytime hunting, night hunting, and aerial hunting. Among these methods, hunting wild boar in the field at night has proven to be an effective solution. This animal is adapted to nocturnal activities, creating favorable conditions for hunting during this period. Tactics often use headlights and rifles to enhance hunting capabilities. This method has contributed significantly to the reduction of wild boar populations worldwide. According to estimates, this decrease could amount to about 20% over the past 20 years in the United States. Headlights are used to detect and track wild boars when locating. Hunters will use hunting tools to catch wild boar carcasses. Although hunting at night is effective, it also carries a lot of risks. Hunters need training and experience to ensure safety during this process. In addition, hunting activities at night can also cause light pollution and affect the surrounding environment. Therefore, solutions are needed to prevent the growth of wild boar herds and protect the environment. With over 6,000 attacks from wolves just last year, Russian farmers were facing not only huge losses in their livestock, but also with threats to the safety and stability of agricultural life. Are you curious about new measures to deal with wolves attacking their farms? Let's learn how these brave farmers face these difficult challenges in the video below. Leave number 1 in the comments and get started right away. Every year, cows in Russia face the risk of strong attacks from wild wolves. Cows are often allowed to roam freely in large fields, where there is a lack of close supervision. This creates conditions for wolves to conduct surprise hunts. A wolf's running speed can be up to 40 to 45 km per hour, while a cow's running speed is only about 20 to 25 km per hour, which is only 5 beats per hour. This disparity allows wolves to easily approach and chase the herd quickly, taking advantage of the speed and chaos within the herd to attack and hunt successfully. In 2022, wolves became extremely brutal hunters, causing an estimated $13.5 million in damage to the livestock industry. The situation did not stop there as wolves attacked sheep herds, causing serious damage to some farmers. Reports show that about 60 to 70% of livestock are attacked by wolves. This happens mainly at night, when darkness falls and the sheep are resting. Every attack from wolves is a nightmare for farmers and sheep, as in just one night, Russian farmers' sheep can be killed. The wolf not only attacked a sheep but also knocked down the entire farm, making the sheep easy prey. I can't help but feel sad when I think about the difficulties that livestock farmers face. Keep watching the video, which explains the measures Russian farmers are using to combat invasive wolves. Please leave comment number 2 if you watched this far. Today, I will follow this guy to set a wolf trap. He had a lot of experience hunting wolves, and he told me that he had found some wolf tracks along the riverbank. I set some traps here this year to hunt some wolves. First, we need to dig a hole in the ground right here, a hole about the size of a foot clamp. Then, a small anchor will be placed into the newly dug land. Proceed to place the ground anchor with a chain to the shock absorber on a snow rock. To attract wolves, we will pour a quantity of corn-based corn into the trap area. Cover the trap with bait and spread a piece of cheese on top to further attract the wolf's attention. He advised me to spread a thin layer of soil and leaves on top for cover, because wolves are very smart and can detect if there is no cover. If you find setting traps difficult, another method is to use a mini earth drill, which will reduce installation time without wasting your effort. The second response is to hunt wolves with hunting equipment in Russia's vast Siberian wilderness. This is an exciting experience. Hunters need to be extremely vigilant to ensure their safety. They need to check and ensure that hunting equipment works well and is strong enough to deal with wild wolves. In addition, preparing clothes and personal items is indispensable, including waterproof jackets, warm shoes, and insulated clothing. The most important thing when preparing for a hunt is to make sure you have all the necessary equipment. Once you are fully equipped, half of your hunting journey is complete. not everyone can participate in this adventurous hunt in Russia. Farmers who want to hunt must be licensed by the local government. There are two types of licenses: short-term and long-term licenses. Long-term licenses last 5 years and allow you to hunt more animals in more areas to prevent wolves from encroaching and attacking farms. In protecting farms, steel fences combined with electric current are the most popular and effective methods. Fences typically range from 4.92 to 6.56 feet in height, tall enough to prevent them from jumping over. Fences are made from steel bars that are welded or tightly woven together, creating a structure that is sturdy and difficult to overcome. To increase intrusion resistance, wire mesh can be used to cover fences and prevent wolves from burrowing or squeezing through small gaps. The highlight of this type of fence is the use of electric current. Electric current is not dangerous to humans or other animals, but produces an unpleasant effect on wolves. When exposed to electric current, they will feel uncomfortable and stay away from protected areas. What do you think about this method? Please leave the number 1 if you agree with the fence construction. Otherwise, leave the number 0 and share your thoughts with us. Installing fences in the area separating the forest and residential areas is receiving overwhelming support from farmers. There are a number of reasons for this. The first fence can help keep dogs out of residential areas and minimize the risk of damage to their farms. Second, establishing fences can create clear boundaries, which enhances the safety and calmness of the community more than using fenced hunting equipment. The use of fences brings many benefits, especially in terms of defense, without causing the risk of accidents for hunters. In addition, the fence operates continuously without direct human intervention, helping to reduce pressure and costs for the community. According to a report by the Russian Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment, the construction of fences has contributed to reducing the number of livestock attacked by wolves by 50% within 5 years. The important question here is why wild pigs migrate into cities. Someone said that about 10 years ago, a man walking in the forest encountered a wild boar blocking his path, and this action opened the way for wild boars to approach the city. This problem becomes dangerous as the feeding of wild boars in the city increases. Therefore, banning wild boars from entering the city is extremely necessary to avoid the situation from getting worse. Furthermore, building fences around residential areas is necessary to prevent wild boars from entering. A man shared about wild boars appearing around his house and causing destruction to the environment. He immediately bought materials to build a fence around his house. Fences not only prevent wild boars from entering, but can also prevent many other species from attacking your home. In addition, using wood to build this fence not only helps reduce costs, but also offers a variety of different features. One of the most important benefits of using wood as the primary material is that it minimizes environmental impact, compared to using metal or plastic. Furthermore, the use of wood also encourages tree regeneration, contribute to protecting forests and achieving the goal of environmental protection. The versatility of wooden fences also allows for easy replacement and maintenance when needed, saving time, money, and infrastructure maintenance. Keeping a dog in the family not only brings safety and security to your home, but also creates a special bond between the humans and the dogs in your kennel. They are always loyal companions, willing to protect and take care of their family. When walking your dog, you not only have the opportunity to relax and enjoy the natural space, but you are also protected from attacks from wild boars. They have the ability to be alert and detect the presence of wild boars before you can take preventive measures. At the same time, they'd also show patience and empathy when worrying about you when wild pigs approach your home area. Wild boars are animals that live in herds. And if they are unlucky, they can smell the characteristic smell of the bolts in your house and come towards you. While it may feel very familiar to raise wild pigs and treat them like family members, remember that they still have a wild nature. They can become a dangerous threat, especially when they feel hungry or excited by the smell of food. Keeping wild pigs indoors is not only dangerous, but can also disrupt the harmony of the environment and affect nature. Therefore, wild pigs should not be raised under any circumstances. If wild pigs appear in your area, notify the police immediately. The police will come and deal with this dangerous threat. The story of chasing wild pigs out of residential areas is a testament to the importance of maintaining cooperation with police agencies, always being ready to respond to dangerous situations and protect the community from unforeseen risks. Despite the threats, warning and sharing information about the presence of feral pigs is also important as we cooperate. We have the power to create a safer environment for everyone. The intrusion of wild pigs into the city is largely due to humans. So we need to be careful when disposing of household waste and not throw trash in public places. The appearance of radioactive wild boars is a consequence of the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster in Japan in 2011. This disaster released a large amount of radiation into the environment, affecting the Northern Sea area, Pacific. Because wild boars are herbivorous wild animals, they often live near the coast and have been exposed to radioactive sources in the environment, leading to poisoning. The number of wild boars affected is unknown, but it is estimated that millions of wild animals worldwide are exposed to radiation. They are concentrated mainly in regions of Europe, Asia, and North America, where habitats are suitable for them, such as large fields and dense forests. Wild boars are able to move freely and search for food. One particularly important thing about wild boars is that they are very well adapted to their natural environment and can be found almost anywhere. However, after each nuclear explosion, concerns about widespread radioactive contamination in the community have arisen. Experts have warned that wild boars can easily come into contact with radioactively contaminated areas due to their eating habits, raising concerns that they could become a major source of contamination and cause pollution. Environmental contamination. This creates a threat to animal and human health, and in some residential areas, the presence of wild boars has created difficult situations. Local police had to conduct sieges to capture wild boars causing trouble in the area. Farmers have conducted careful research into the behavior and biology of wild boar populations, thereby developing extremely effective trapping methods. The traps were placed in forests frequented by wild boars, as well as near farms, demonstrating their ingenuity in maintaining ecological balance and protecting their farms. The trap cage is designed to be flexible, helping to catch wild boars safely and effectively. Farmers' creativity does not stop at designing traps, but also in using bait to attract wild boars. By placing bait in the trap, when the pig enters and eats the bait, the trap will automatically close, not only helping to effectively catch wild boars, but also making it impossible for them to rely on traditional behaviors to avoid being caught. This facilitates harvesting without causing danger or stress to farmers. However, it should be noted that any measures to deal with wild boars must be carefully considered ethically and environmentally. Ensuring that these measures do not unduly impact local ecosystems and do not cause unwanted damage is extremely important. Furthermore, the destruction of collected wild boars also needs to be done in a safe and environmentally friendly manner, but also protect the natural environment.